Welcome back, guys. Today we are going to continue with our sketching, but mostly we will start collaging and putting together our outfits with all these beautiful elements. The pressed silk leaves, the pressed real greens from the backyard, various colorful papers, magazines, and this is one of my favorite things to use is a page from a coloring book. With our wax paper that we got from our book, we used it for drying our leaves, and I'm going to place it over one of my sketches. And you guys can use a pencil for this part, and again we'll use a marker. And basically I'm going to trace just the bodice of the model, not the head. And I'm going to trace the contours, decide how long I want my skirt. You can just sort of go to this length because you can always add. Make it a nice, pretty long summer dress. And you'll make a bunch of these in various shapes and configurations. You can have tops and bottoms. You could have long dresses, short dresses. Okay. Next, we will cut these out and create little templates. So you're basically just going to grab a pair of scissors and cut them out. So I've cut out some shapes from my magazine page, and I have really fun patterns here. And place your little template made out of wax paper over each one like this. You can, if you select this pattern, for example, you can place it so that it all fits inside and trace it with your marker. It's already a beautiful pattern ready to go, and you'll cut that out. So the lady that I originally traced, I'm going to put her in front of me, and I cut out my little template from one of the magazine pages. I'm going to place it over her, and there she is, all dressed up in a beautiful, fun dress. I have some fun papers that I've actually kind of grouped in a color scheme. I always like to throw in something super dark when I'm dealing with pastel colors like this. I think it kind of grounds it. And you can create different proportions in layering. Maybe like this one right here. And I think that would be a really cute dress with a combination of all these different patterns. And so then I would remove this and glue these pieces together. Okay, so I glued these pieces together exactly in this pattern. I want to confirm that they look good under my dress like this. Okay, so I cut out my little dress from that wax paper, and I'm going to place it right over my little paper collage here. And once I have a really nice pattern underneath, I will trace my dress right over that paper. So there is my dress all traced on the paper. And now I will cut it out. And now let's try it on our girl, which we had traced previously, like that. So basically, the sky's the limit here. I want you guys to use your imagination with different materials, different patterns and combinations. Also, place one of our templates over a coloring book page and trace it. Find a perfect pattern that looks nice. Then go ahead and trace it and cut it out and color in the pattern. I'm going to show you how to glue. I have this E6000 glue, which is great, very sticky, gives you time to move the pieces. I always have the end of a brush or a pencil to help me place these. And basically I'm just going to do a row at the bottom, very, very lightly, a row of glue. And I'm going to place a petal and press it down with the stick, not your finger. You don't want to mess up your finger. And do the same thing on this side, and then place that center one. It's okay if they curl up a little bit. Oops, I'll do it this way. Okay? And then you're going to do the next row up like this with the glue. Pick up a petal, overlap the other side like this, press it down, overlap the other side, press it down, and then do the center petal like that. And basically you're going to build it up. Moving up, if you want to continue with the petals, you can switch to smaller petals now, continuing slightly like this. And then you're going to move up with your, and once it's dry, what we're going to do is we're going to tuck our scissors underneath the outer edges of the petals like this. Tuck it right under the edge of the petals and cut your little template. You can stop that. And we're gonna allow this dress to dry. Free and welcome to add anything you want as embellishments. Okay. Okay, so once you're finished gluing on your petals and all your decorations, go ahead and just slip it back into your book and press it so that it kind of sticks down. Let it dry, and then go ahead and place it on one of your gowns like this, and you have a beautiful evening gown. And you're just going to layer them until they come together up here to a point. Like that. You can always trim these later, and you can always put yet another leaf there that may be a little bit thinner leaf. It's really cool to mix up the green colors like that, and create maybe with those little tips that you cut away, you can make the bodice. And that's a very pretty dress as well. You can layer with your pressed fern leaves. So here we're combining basically our silk flowers with our real flowers and greenery. So you can create all kinds of fun combinations. And again, you can glue these right onto your girls that are on regular paper, or you can use the other. Make sure you're playing with necklines. You can have asymmetrical necklines that are really cool and funky. You can break all the rules, guys. Skirt like that. Use all the various textures at your disposal and make these as fun as possible. I have some watercolors, and I'm going to add a little bit of water to my little palette here and dip into this pretty turquoise color. I'm just going to go ahead and make a funky little swirly shape like this. a really fun mix of a light, a medium, and a darker color. Just make fun little shapes and add more water to it to make it more transparent. And just kind of play with fun colors. The only colors I would recommend you don't use, make it really soft like that. The only colors I recommend you don't put together are purple and yellow and green and red. Try to avoid mixing those together. And this time what I'll do is I'll actually try to make a funky looking dress that maybe has a really cool neckline like this. Just use your imagination. It almost looks like a flower bud. Just use your imagination, guys. And I'm gonna stop right there. A little head like this. A neck, shoulder, and long legs that come to a point. And there you have a girl already dressed up and ready to go. Minimal strokes, minimal lines for legs and arm. You can give her a pretty little hairdo like that. So here I drew another little face and legs, and you can do this with a pencil so you can make corrections, and added a few darker green strokes to define her dress a little better. But cut out my template from my wax paper, and I will place it over one of my watercolor paintings here. Trace it and cut it out. So I've cut out my beautiful dress that I painted. And now when I place it over my gal, she's wearing a beautiful, elegant watercolor print dress.